Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Toronto Raptor video. I'm going to talk about some things that I would like to see different in the next game against the Boston Celtics. Before we get into it, if you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button, subscribe if you are new. We're like 17 subscribers away from 8.5k, so thank you so much. Last night sucked, dude. It was really depressing, especially considering it was the first time the Raptors have played in Canada in like almost 2 years, really. So the good news is there's 81 games left, and take it from someone who covers the Houston Rockets quite a bit. It's just one game. No matter if we lost to the Timberwolves by 1, if we lost to the Timberwolves by 23, it doesn't really matter. A loss is a loss, and gotta look at it the same exact way from the Toronto Raptors standpoint, because there are some things that you can take from it that were good, particularly their young guys like Scottie Barnes, Delano Banton. Both of them looked very good, I would say. They look NBA ready, and they look like they're going to contribute to some victories this season. Also, the defense, man, 98 points. I know Washington wasn't having their best game, but at the same time, 98 points in today's age, I would say that is a success, considering the Raptors just, honestly, man, they didn't have much yesterday. Until like the last couple of minutes of the fourth quarter, maybe like a brief stint there in the first quarter, they were just off. They were just a little bit off. And I think the number one thing I would like to see next game is Scottie Barnes off the bench. I don't mean to, nag on Scottie, but essentially when he got the ball, they would just sag off. And when you're dealing with a team that has starting lineup, I was very surprised to see Goran and Precious Achiuwa out there. Not really like when you really break it down, I mean, it's not that surprising considering both of them started in all the preseason games, but still at the same time. So when you have two heavy ball dominant guys like Goran and Fred VanVleet, that's not like the Raptors got him for like the positionless basketball. They want Scottie Barnes to take the ball up. Like they want him to get the rebound, or the rebound pass it, push the court with Scottie Barnes. So you're not really going to be getting that too much if you're on the court at the same time with Freddie and Goran. I mean, it'll happen, but it's not going to be as much. So to me, that's the first order of business until we see more offensively from Scottie Barnes. But like I said, I mean, 5 of 13 from the field, 12 points, 9 rebounds for Scottie in 32 minutes. I would say it was a pretty fine debut. If anything, it was above average. I mean, look at a lot of the other guys. I mean, Jalen Green, who was picked ahead of him. Look at his debut. It wasn't too pretty. So the Raptors, they just didn't have their stuff. And one of those aspects was shooting. And so I think my second order of business would be Goran Dragic going to the bench. I realize there might be some issues there with Goran and Scottie Barnes. However, Goran can play off ball, and also it's better if Scottie only has to compete ball handling wise with Goran than Goran and Freddie. I want to see Gary Trent in the starting lineup. Now, I know he's struggling a little bit right now. Last night he was 2 of 9. I know he's not playing his best basketball right now as far as efficiency goes. The energy's there, the effort's there. I mean, I know he wants to make the right decisions. I know he wants to make the shots. I know he wants to get his team involved. I know he's all for the hustle. And I think getting a shooter like this who is, I mean, he's poised for a breakout year. I mean, Goran isn't going to be on this Raptors team for long, so why not just throw him on the bench, because he's probably better off the bench anyways. To just, if the Raptors have a scoring issue, why not put a solid scorer, a guy you can just consistently rely on? Why not throw him on the bench if he's 35 years old and about to be traded in this year? Throw him on the bench, man. Let's do it. Gary Trent Jr., he's gonna be hot again. I mean, he's not gonna shoot 2 of 9 every single night. 1 of 3 from downtown isn't the end of the world. I mean, you're not gonna get that every night with him. So I think that's number 2. I need to see Gary Trent. I think Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., OG, and then maybe this will surprise you at the 4 spot, Chris Boucher. Now, Chris Boucher only I was honestly kind of surprised he played. This is his first game back, and this is a guy who, same thing, high energy guy. Like, he can defend, he can do a lot of different things, he can bring offensive versatility. So if the Raptors have a half court problem, hey, I think a lot of Raptors fans right now, I think a lot of NBA fans are seeing Pascal Siakam and they're like, yeah, I mean, he is really useful. There were so many times that the offense looked a little bit stagnant. I think Chris Boucher made some questionable choices last night. However, you got to knock the rust off. Coming back from an injury, you got to knock the rust off. I don't know if he didn't start. I would imagine he only got 17 minutes and didn't start because of the injury. So honestly, that might be what they're looking for. That might be what Nick Nurse deploys, I believe, tomorrow night at Boston. That's going to be an interesting game. We're going to learn a lot about Toronto, this Raptors squad, tomorrow night. But I think I think that would be more beneficial, throwing Chris Boucher in the starting lineup, and then you got him and Precious, two high energy, high athletic players that I think just for right now it's a good, quick, simple solution. Or at the very least, let's see some sets with them. Let's see some different rotations where you have that pairing of Precious and Chris Boucher, because I mean, 17 minutes, you're not really going to be able to see too much. And same thing goes with Precious Achiuwa. I mean, he only got 18 minutes last night. Khem Birch, coming off the bench, was actually pretty solid, 9 points, 9 rebounds. But he ended up getting 26 minutes. So I also wouldn't be surprised if Khem Birch grabbed a start against the Boston Celtics. I'm not sure what's going on with Boston, if Al Horford's going to be out for that game, but I mean, the Boston Celtics just had one of the, it was game of the year. I mean, I know we're 2 days in, but 3 days in. Game of the year last night was Celtics versus the Knicks. I mean, that was a phenomenal game. Absolutely phenomenal. So those are just a couple of things I would like to see. Delano Banton looked really good. He had a half-court three. Like, he was a guy who just, I don't know even how to describe it. He just comes in and makes a difference as far as, like, the energy goes. I'm not even talking, like, physical energy. I'm talking about just, like, the vibe. When Delano Banton hops on the court, like, the vibe switches to, like, good vibe. So, want to see more of Delano Banton. He got 12 minutes last night. Svi, he only shot 1 of 5. His, actually, reverse layup was really sexy in transition. 0 of 3 from downtown. The Raptors just shot so poor. I mean, you could go like through so many guys. OG 2 of 9, Fred VanVleet 1 of 9. I mean, Chris Boucher 1 of 6. So Svi's gonna be better next game. And keep in mind that these Raptors guys, this is like a whole new lineup, and hasn't been too many opportunities, especially at full strength, for these guys to play. So you're going to go through growing pains, and you're going to have nights like this. But like I said in the beginning of the video, the good news is it's just a loss, and a loss is a loss. I mean, same thing with a win. A win is a win. At the end of the day, it's just one number on a record. So thankfully, there's 81 more of them. Hopefully, they have a better result Friday against Boston. I'll probably post a preview video tomorrow. If you guys want to stay tuned, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. The algorithm, it really helps. So this is the most important part. I feel like we haven't been doing this too much. I want to hear your opinions down below in the comment. I mean, that's pretty much the point of this video, or the channel, is to discuss opinions and to debate opinions like this. So please drop your opinion down below if it interests you. That's it for me. I'll see you guys tomorrow.